It's not important what people think when you come in. It's much more important what people think when you leave. Those are the words of Jurgen Klopp in 2015 when he joined the club. And at around 11 a.m. this morning, not just Liverpool fans, but the footballing world as a whole was dealt the shock blow of the news that Jurgen Klopp will be taking part in his final season as Liverpool manager at the moment. He's confirmed that he will be stepping down at the end of the season and letting someone else take over the reins and fill a pretty big pair of shoes to take over. And wow. The news came as a huge shock for me this morning. I was up at around 8 a.m. purchasing Liverpool tickets. Actually, I got lucky with the ballot and got a couple games for the second half of the season. Then it was just, a day as usual, get on with my full-time job. And out of nowhere, I suddenly started getting loads of ats in one of my group chats with mates, other messages coming in on Instagram. I thought, okay, maybe people are just trolling me about something, but no, I saw the words about Klopp specifically, and Klopp's finally out, and I was just like, no, this isn't happening. This cannot be happening. Surely not. But immediately saw all the news, breaking headlines everywhere. The official video on the Liverpool YouTube channel of Klopp's announcement and goodbye. And it almost felt like, if you were in the school days and you've just been called into an assembly to be told that your favourite teacher's leaving. And it's just like, oh, well, I'll keep going to school, obviously. I'm going to keep pushing on, hopefully still get good grades. But your favourite teacher's now gone. And suddenly every lesson feels different. A new teacher will come in and obviously take over those classes. And who knows, they might be a great teacher as well, but they'll never quite feel the same as that favourite teacher was. Knowing all the memories you made and how it topped anything you had in the history of your time at school. And it's very much like that. Or alternatively, for a different analogy, just the sucker punch of suddenly being told your dad's leaving. Came out of nowhere really. But Jurgen said he's been planning this since November. That's when he informed the club, at least. He hinted that it even these thoughts extended to as far as last season. We did not see this coming. We've been high flying this season. We are in with a good chance in all four competitions still. Just got into our first final on Wednesday night. We won to qualify for the final of the Carabao Cup. So it's been nothing but a high for us this season for the most part. But this is a crushing blow. And I cannot believe it. Klopp has talked about feeling tired and feeling that he cannot keep going on. We know Klopp is someone who's heavily invested, not just on the pitch, but off the pitch as well. And it really does take its toll. Come the end of the season, it will be 8.5 or so years he will have spent as manager of Liverpool Football Club. He did 7 years at Mainz, 7 years at Dortmund. So there was already talk last season of, well, he's gone over that 7-year period. And then with Liverpool performing badly, a lot of people talking about, could this be where he steps off? Let someone else come in and really refresh the squad, because it was quite clear we were going to need significant change over the summer. But no, Klopp stayed. He oversaw that overhaul, and maybe that was part of his plan. Maybe that was part of his timing. There's a lot of talk from people about the timing of this and why it feels so out of the blue and so weird. But Klopp, and the man that he is, it kind of makes sense that at the end of last season, he had maybe thought about leaving, but didn't want to leave the club in such a state. He would have felt the guilt of just stepping aside when the club needed some refreshing. And so he stayed. He got involved and helped oversee that midfield refresh and got us back. We look at a year ago where we were desperate situation. 1 win and 6 in January 2023, going out of competitions left, right and centre, and to now probably the favourite all 4 competitions that we're in. It's a huge turnaround, and he stayed to see that through. And I guess now he's decided that despite that sudden turnaround in form, despite that success, it's not enough to convince him to stay in the job. Unfortunately, he feels his time is coming up to an end at the end of the season. He wants to take a break from management for at least a year, I think it is, he said. But potentially we could see him retire. I don't think he will. I think he's so young still in terms of a managerial career span. He's got at least another big job in him, potentially a national team job, but there'll be more on his future specifically to come. For now, it is just kind of Yeah, the shock of it. I think I can understand it from a certain point as well when I talk about him leaving now and announcing it now as well, to potentially ensure that it's not like right at the end of the season we don't get to say a proper goodbye to him. We've got this time now where we know this is our last few months with Klopp as manager. He can get a proper farewell on the final day. Hopefully it'll give that extra motivation to go on and win more. Versus when we've seen other players, for example, like Henderson, Fabinho, Mane, all of them and their sales were quite last minute decisions or in the transfer window. So they didn't quite get the goodbye that we maybe would have liked to give to those players. With Klopp now, we know in advance, we know it's coming. It's like when Gerrard left, we knew, I think it was around January, he announced his departure from Liverpool. So Klopp deserves a really, really proper send-off. Would I have loved for it to be in a year, 2 years, 3 years even? Of course. Again, that links back to the timing being so random and such a surprise, because he actually signed a contract April 2022, which extended his deal from 2024 this summer when it was supposed to expire to 2026. So we thought we'd get at least 2 more years out of him, really, if not more. But we cannot question him and his timing, because at the end of the day, only Klopp knows himself, his body, his mind, what he can do, what he's capable of continuing to do for Liverpool. So if he feels this is the time to move on, we have to respect it as he's asked us to, and just really get behind the team and drive them on for the remainder of the season. And what does the remainder of the season look like? Well, there's 4 trophies for us to go for. We really, really have to try and push to get as many of those 4 as we can. The Premier League will be the big one. We have to try and give him a big send-off and get him that second league title that he deserves. We narrowly missed out on 2, of course, so it would be ideal to get that. Plus the one we did win, of course, COVID stopped us celebrating that with a full crowd in the stadium, with a parade. We kind of made up for it in 2022, but it would be poetic for it to be a nice end by winning the league. The rest would all be a bonus. We're in the Carabao Cup final, so I think that and the league for me are the minimum. FA Cup and Europa League on top, absolutely brilliant. But get Klopp his big send-off that he deserves. And yeah, kind of fix the sense that one thing that makes this really difficult for me to digest Klopp going at this time is that it feels like we have underachieved for what Klopp has brought and what he deserves to have on his kind of trophy CV, if you like. Of course, it's not all been through us underperforming or missing out on things. We've been very unlucky, missing out on the league twice by a point, narrowly being beaten by Real Madrid in a couple of Champions League finals, and you just add those 4 trophies alone and we're suddenly, Klopp's leaves on such a higher pedestal. He has a much bigger record to leave with, but that all adds up to, can we just top it off for him this season? Can we add 4 more major trophies, up to 4 more major trophies, to really cement his status as an all-time Premier League great manager? And certainly he's already earned Liverpool all-time a great manager. So it will be very, very interesting to see now if we can kind of make sure that this doesn't turn into one of those ones where it gets maybe a bit over-emotional and the pressure gets to the players of, oh, we need to do this for Klopp now, everyone wants it, and then potentially we have a few rough games and everyone starts to get a bit desperate and, a bit of moan and groan. Rather, we should just really get behind the team, give everything, and hopefully this will act as a boost for Liverpool for the remainder of the season. And just like I say, add to that Klopp CV. And I mean, it's already very impressive. He came into this club, he won at one of every single trophy available to him, all 6 major honours and the Community Shield as well. Even beyond his achievements on the pitch, he went on to get the freedom of Liverpool City. He really embodied everything that Liverpool are as a club and as a city, as a human being. He was just an incredible, incredible person. We're all going to miss any press conference that he does because he is just a man with a way around words. He's just incredible to listen to. And, there's the joy of football, but even in the darker moments of football, the times where things don't go to plan, Klopp has always found a way to inspire, to motivate you to go again and to really get behind the club and believe again. So knowing that this is the last season of all that is difficult to take, but hopefully we do get the right replacement in. It's something that's probably too soon for us as fans to think about, but certainly if Klopp's informed the owners in November, they will have hopefully already started looking ahead. Xabi Alonso is the early favourite. A few other names being thrown in there, of course, but for now, let's just appreciate Klopp and all he's done. But yeah, other questions going forward would also be the things to do with players. You know, does Salah now stay? Because he was already rumoured to. He's a name that's going to be potentially going this summer. There's always going to be a bit of a debate with whether we can convince him to stay out the final year of the contract, or do we try and sell him now? Do we manage to get him to extend? We're going to miss that pull factor of someone like Klopp as well. So a lot of questions to be answered going forwards. But for now, we've got to focus on the performances on the pitch because they don't slow down. So there's no real time to overthink these sorts of things. But it's going to be a huge summer ahead for Liverpool. New manager needed, new sporting director needed. And then hopefully not too much of a shuffle with the squad, but that's one that's going to develop as well. But yeah, big news today, of course. Had to react to it, get a video out. Let me know in the comments down below your thoughts to this news. I'm sure if you're a Liverpool fan, you're devastated. If you're a rival fan, you might be devastated that the Premier League is losing Klopp, or you might be over the moon because you're happy to see what you think will be a Liverpool demise at the end of this. But yeah, let me know, and do give me a shout as well, your favourite memories of Jurgen Klopp. I'm sure there are many to pick from, so I'm going to be watching as many Klopp kind of highlight reels videos as I can. So yeah, do give me a shout, any moments to reminisce in the comments below. But now we do what Klopp said. We respect his decision. We move on. Business as usual till the end of the season. We'll get our moments at the end of the season to say a proper goodbye to him. But until then, we focus on trying to win as much as possible this season, and that starts with an FA Cup tie against Norwich on Sunday. Until then, take care, Reds.